Harvard has a policy. They want a diverse student body, and so they have a policy of affirmative action that some plaintiffs allege discriminate against more qualified Asian American applicants to make room for less qualified applicants of Black and Hispanic descent. Are you okay with that policy?
No, I'm not okay with that policy.
Yeah.
I know it's like a really touchy subject, and like a lot of the students like want to support all student bodies and like make sure that everyone has like a fair chance coming in. Like it's really difficult to do something like that.
Asian Americans have to score 440 points higher on the SAT to have the same chance of admission as a Black student. Do you think that that is okay?
Doesn't sound okay.
So you don't agree with Harvard saying it's okay for us to use race in admissions?
Like I think race is a factor,
and
especially since like we're trying to get a diverse student body like with different socioeconomic backgrounds or these people from just different parts of the world. It's like I can see like why they use race, but I feel like there's a lot of there's no transparency in like the administration, so that makes it like really difficult like to justify like how they use race.
And do you think that the use of a personality score is okay for admissions?
Admissions is really strange. It's like when we get a chance to like look at like what administrators like say about us and things like that, and there are things on there that are like why is that like relevant to how you rate me as a person or like to get into university.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that I feel like I said, I feel like the transparency would be like a lot helpful, like why they use those things. So I'm not sure like how they can make it feasible in that way. Like I know they want to like bring a lot of different type of people together. But yeah, it seems like that's definitely a problem. And it seems like there's definitely stereotyping, there's definitely biasing.
For sure.
That should be addressed.
No, I don't think that's okay. But I think that it's really hard to pinpoint blame or someone's fault on one individual. I study education here, and there's so many entrenched like structural faults in our education system. Like it's not just the SAT score, it's also where they went to school, how supportive their teachers are in the recommendation letter system. There's so much that needs to be done there.
In your opinion, why would it be okay that Harvard would make such a policy?
I think it really depends on what the purpose of education is. I think of course it would be great to be able to admit students regardless of their race, but at the same time as a student here I think the aspect of diversity is important, but it's really hard to say. Even how to define the word diversity is hard. It's tough.
So it would be okay to discriminate against one race if it achieves a more diversity, you would think?
I think that is like a really hard question to answer.
Well, I think that there's definitely positives to having affirmative action programs in place. The specifics of that, I don't know. You got to create an equitable environment where the people with the most merit, but also the ones who are harmed and disenfranchised get an opportunity. I mean, it sounds on the face of it unfair, but I'm sure that policy is in place in order to get more African American students
that's the point.
Student body, right?
The point is to get more African Americans into the student body, but those African Americans
to get a more proportionate population here, right? So I guess what are you asking me if I think it's okay or not? I don't know. I think it's complicated.
I think if you were to hire somebody and somebody comes to you with 5 years of work experience and X number of profits, rather than somebody who comes to you with half that work experience and half those profits, but who is of a certain race that you like.
If I had an equity, diversity, and inclusion program at my job, if I was to run that program and I saw that there is, let's say, a discrimination against African Americans or some let's say Hispanic Americans in the town where I'm at, which is made up of a certain percentage of those populations, and I wanted to get more of that representation because I want more diverse voices. Yeah, I would probably create a program that got a few more people in the door from that community.
So you would be okay with discriminating against people of a certain race to achieve diversity?
Well, if you're gonna pigeonhole me into the word discriminate.
Well, that's what Harvard's doing though, because they're discriminating against Asian Americans to get more Black applicants.
I mean, again, complicated. You do what you do. You try to make the best policy to get to get a diverse student body and to make it equitable. So
no, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think it will be okay just admit someone for their racial status or like their ethnicity.
Yeah.
I believe that they should keep accepting people for their abilities and for the skills, and not about about the racial.
Just based on what I hear, I feel like they could probably do a better job of not doing anti-discrimination against Asian Americans, but I do think that their goal of diversity is good, but maybe they're just doing it a little wrong. Yeah, that might be a little bit problematic. Yeah.
So then you would agree with the idea that people should be admitted as individuals, not on the basis of race?
Yeah, I think they should be admitted as individuals, but I also think that diversity is important. So I don't know how the balance is. Like, I guess it's hard to say.
Hey guys, this is Kenny Shu. If you enjoyed this video, I'd encourage you to buy my book, An Inconvenient Minority, The Attack on Asian American Excellence and the Fight for Meritocracy. It's out July 13th, but don't wait. Get your hands on a copy right now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and wherever books are sold.